Joining me now is Ross Gerber, President and CEO at wealth manager Gerber Kawasaki. Thank you very much for being with us today. So, Ross, what is your first reaction to what happened and how the market itself reacted?
Well, obviously, it was a really unsettling day for Americans, and violence is unfortunately plaguing our society due to the prevalence of guns. And this was just another example of another mass shooting. It just came very close to home to Donald Trump. Now, fortunately, we don't want one person deciding the future of our country. We'd much rather have an election. So fortunately, Trump is fine. And I think as we move forward in the election, there's a perception now that this gives Trump an advantage. It certainly galvanizes his base. But I haven't been sold on that. But the market is definitely reacting positive to a Trump presidency potential because Trump is so pro-business and low rates, and Biden really has not been pro-business. So I think it's really good for markets, and we're seeing that as well with Bitcoin.
Right. And how would you position yourself in the lead up to elections, first of all, but also after the elections, after November, if Trump were really to win?
So I think if you look at the last time when Trump won, obviously the year after he won was an incredibly good year for the stock market because that's when he has the most opportunity to create policy that would be beneficial for business. So we expect a Trump victory. We, probably pretty good for stocks on the short term. But because of stretched valuations already, the chances are at some point the markets will take a break or maybe get overheated and we'll see some sort of correction. But as I said, it's all speculation. We kind of look at how you position yourself today should be conservatively considering the gains that we've made over the last year. And I think going into the election, it would be prudent to really look at the balance in your overall, portfolio. That's kind of what we do at Gerber Kawasaki is really like make sure that you're comfortable with the risk levels you're taking because stocks have gone up so much already.
Right, and we've already seen some kind of reaction in the markets today, right, on the yields front, on the dollar front as well, and in certain asset classes. And what would you think the top picks would be for a potential Trump victory in terms of sectors? And does this mean that clean energy play is dead in your view?
Well, the irony is the exact opposite, First of all, Tesla's rallying today, ironically, because Elon endorsed Trump, which in my mind is actually not good for selling Teslas because their main, customers are liberal. But that said, I think when you think about what will do well moving forward with lower rates and a better business environment, certainly we saw a little bit of this change in the markets last week. Small and mid caps really have a lot of catching up to do. They're much cheaper valuations. A holding like mine, like MGM Resorts, trades at 13, 14 times earnings and growing. And then you look at the large cap stocks like Apple hitting all-time highs with the highest price earnings ratios I've seen Apple in as long as I can remember. So certainly I think we'll see a broadening of the market, and it's a great time for investors to make that rotation to a better business environment for small and mid caps.
Right, and alongside other stocks, we've also seen Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies such as Ether reacting quite well, surging today. Why in the first place? And would crypto be an interesting sector in the next few months?
Well, it seems like Bitcoin likes uncertainty and certainly likes Trump because of the volatility he creates in policy. And that's actually what appeals to Bitcoin as sort of a store of value like gold. And so we saw Bitcoin rally nicely, a good 10% since the assassination attempt. And obviously with the Trump presidency, we're bullish on Bitcoin anyways. I think, with a Trump presidency, that's very, very bullish for Bitcoin for sure. And as I said, clean energy stocks did very well under Trump in the first term and Bitcoin as well. So I would expect that actually to happen. Biden's actually been horrible for clean energy companies, and many have gone out of business because of his policies, especially with interest rates. So I think actually with lower rates and stuff, it actually helps clean energy.
Elon Musk has publicly endorsed Donald Trump for the first time in the US presidential race, calling the Republican former president tough. What does it mean for Tesla's shares? And is this bad PR for Tesla? I mean, it being an EV maker.
Well, first of all, Donald Trump is not tough. This is a guy who avoided the Vietnam War, pretended he had bone spurs. This guy has never had a tough day in his life. He's a rich kid who was given everything. So the fact that in the moment he got shot in the ear and he figured out a way to turn it into a publicity stunt, I don't know about that. But that said, I think Elon cares a lot more about himself and Twitter and his other assets than selling EVs. And he's gone all in on autonomy as sort of an excuse for the fact that Tesla sales have stopped going up. So I don't see any of these actions helping Tesla sell more vehicles. And that's unfortunate. And so I think there's we've seen a nice rally in Tesla, and now it trades at an extremely high valuation based off a lot of different, hope things. But as we get to more reality, I mean, in the end, Tesla has to sell cars, and I don't see how this helps them sell cars, and they're still not advertising. So the only thing people see is this kind of information. So certainly making Tesla sort of the MAGA symbol is not going to be good for sales, considering their core customers are here in California, and they're typically liberal people. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Great analysis, Ross Gerber. Thank you very much for being with us today.